DreamWorks' newest movie is Kung Fu Panda 4. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Jackson. I try to watch every family movie that comes to TV or streaming. And if you like that type of content, make sure to smash that like button and maybe hit the subscribe button while you're at it. And now let's get into the review, starting off with the good. So if you don't know, this is the fourth movie, obviously, in the Kung Fu Panda franchise. And I don't really understand why. Do we need a fourth movie? Like, because I thought Kung Fu Panda 4, like, the last Kung Fu Panda came out 8 years ago, so do we really need a sequel? Like, I mean, a fourth movie? Like, can't Kung Fu Panda just stay a trilogy and that's it? Well, unfortunately not, because trilogies just can't stay trilogies anymore now. And I hope Troll stays a trilogy, because what are we even gonna do with the fourth movie? Actually, the fourth movie can focus on Poppy's family. For those of you that are saying that, do we need that though? We already met Viva. We don't need to, how are we even gonna be meeting Poppy's family? We already know most of Poppy's family. It makes sense for Branch's family because we don't really know. Okay, back to Kung Fu Panda 4. The good is probably the voice acting. I do like the voice acting in this movie. Jack Black as Po is just perfect. Jack Black as Po. But did we really need Awkwafina in this movie? Because I don't understand why Awkwafina is in every kid's movie nowadays. She was in the live action Little Mermaid, she was in Migration, and now she's in Kung Fu Panda for some reason. So did we really need Awkwafina? That's the question, but she's in it and I can't control that. And yeah, I can't really control if she's in it or not, but it's pretty much pretty good. And another thing good is the animation in this movie. The animation, it's way better than Megamind 2's animation. Megamind 2 just had horrible animation. It looked like claymation. But this movie actually has pretty decent animation, and it's actually pretty fun. And another thing good is the action. The action is really fun and packed with good elements and good storytelling, and it's really fun to watch. But now we have to do the bad. The bad is definitely probably the pacing. The pacing in this movie, it's not that great. If you guys don't know, the movie is 1 hour and 34 minutes long, but it felt like 2 hours long. It doesn't necessarily mean the movie's boring, because it's not really boring, but it just felt way longer than it actually was. It just felt way longer, and the pacing wasn't that good. But what am I talking about? Pacing is never good in movies, I'm gonna put up some movies on the screen. See these movies on the screen? The pacing in these movies isn't good either. But these movies are still good movies that you see on the screen right now, but the pacing isn't great. But back to Kung Fu Panda 4. But yeah, it's pretty much just bad, but I also don't really like how they told the story. I didn't really get the whole plot. And another thing bad is the villain. The villain isn't great. It's probably the worst Kung Fu Panda villain out of the whole franchise, not gonna lie. But the villain wasn't great and didn't really show anything to the Kung Fu Panda franchise. It was just an okay villain. But now we got into the critique of the movie. See my final thoughts on the movie. Before I say my final thoughts, still make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Now let's get into the critique. Alright, so Kung Fu Panda 4 is a fun, action-packed movie, but it still felt disappointing at sometimes. Some of the things in the movie didn't. The first 3 movies were peak, and this movie was more of just decent. It's not the best out of the Kung Fu Panda franchise. it's not the best of DreamWorks in general either. It's not the best movie from DreamWorks this decade, but it's also not the worst movie from DreamWorks this decade. So overall, the movie gets a C+ on the entertainment scale, a 7 out of 10, and I do recommend you watch this movie with your family, and you definitely will have a fun time. And I'll see you next time in our next review tomorrow, and make sure to like and subscribe.